She stood in my doorway with 2 kids at her side and a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "We're going to live here," she declared, suitcase wheels rattling against my hardwood. I froze, keys still in my hand, the mortgage receipt folded in my pocket like a medal. 15 years of sacrifice, side jobs, skipped vacations. This house was mine. My safe place, my victory. And she wanted to turn it into her kingdom. Behind her, my brother lingered, silent, his guilt tucked into a nervous smile. My parents nodded approval, as if this invasion had been agreed upon without me. "It's family property now," she said. "You'll understand." But I didn't, and I never would. I used to like her. The first time I met her, she was charming. She laughed too loud at my brother's jokes, touched his arm like he was the only man in the room. I remember thinking, good, maybe she'll steady him. Back then, I still believed in family. I lent them money when their rent was late. I babysat their kids when she wanted nights out. I showed up at birthdays with gifts I couldn't always afford because that's what family does. But she saw generosity as weakness. Every smile, every favor only emboldened her. The signs were subtle at first. Offhand remarks, "This house is too big for one person." Or, "Your brother works harder than you. Don't you think he deserves more?" I brushed them off. People say careless things. Families fight. But then came the whispers at family dinners, my parents asking, "Why not let them stay a while? You have space." That's when I understood. This wasn't a suggestion, it was a plot. When I slid the last check across the bank counter and the clerk smiled, "Congratulations, your house is officially yours." I thought I'd won. But ownership on paper doesn't shield you from betrayal in blood. The night they arrived with their bags, something inside me shifted. Rage wanted me to shout, to slam doors, to throw them out with their luggage. But rage is clumsy. I wanted precision. So I let her step inside. I let her children run down the hallway, their shoes pounding against my walls. I let her place her purse on my counter as if it already belonged to her. And I smiled. Because while she was busy declaring victory, I was already building her downfall. The next morning, I went to the county office. Title deed in hand, signed and notarized, I requested a certified copy. Then another, then 3 more. Paper doesn't bend to manipulation. Paper doesn't care about family politics. Paper answers only to the law. I filed a no trespass order, quiet and discreet, naming her and, strategically, not my brother. I wanted to separate them, force him to choose. At the same time, I visited a locksmith. By evening, every lock had been replaced. My keys, my control. And then came the final move. I invited the entire family over for dinner. The tension at the table was thick. She tried to play hostess, dishing food onto plates as if she'd already conquered the house. My parents praised her cooking. My brother avoided my eyes. When the meal was nearly done, I stood, slid an envelope across the table and said, "I have something for you." She opened it, expecting money. Instead, she found a certified copy of the deed, bold letters spelling my name. Then the restraining order. Her face paled. "What is this?" My voice was steady. "Proof. This is my house. You have no right to it. The next time you step inside without permission, the police will escort you out." Silence. My brother shifted uncomfortably. My parents opened their mouths, but I cut them off with one sentence. Family property exists only when family respects it. You showed none. The tears came then, not from guilt, but from exposure. She had counted on silence, on shame, on me caving the way I always had. She hadn't expected resistance wrapped in paperwork and law. She stood, trembling, children watching wide-eyed, and spat, "You'll regret this." But regret belongs to the defeated. After they left, the house was mine again, truly mine. The echo of her children's footsteps faded, replaced by a quiet that felt like triumph. My brother called later, voice shaking, torn between loyalty to his wife and the truth he couldn't deny. I didn't answer. Some bonds aren't worth saving. I walk these halls now with pride. Every corner reminds me not just of struggle, but of victory earned through patience and precision. They tried to strip me of my sanctuary, my achievement, my freedom. Instead, I stripped them of their illusion of tower. Final reflection. They thought my silence meant surrender. They mistook kindness for weakness. But this house wasn't just walls and bricks. It was proof that I could stand alone. And the day they tried to steal it, I reminded them I am not theirs to conquer. This is mine.